Hello, I'm Brandon from PHP Web Tutorials, and this is video 1 of the series. Now, I talked in the previous video about the software that we'll be needing. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to install the web server piece of software. So what you do is open up your web browser, and now we are going to go to xampp.org or xampp.org. Now it should redirect you to apachefriends.org/en/xampp.html. If you scroll down, you'll find different distributions for the package. Now since my operating system is Windows, I'm going to click on xampp for Windows. And I'm going to click on that, and it should redirect me to the Windows page. And it lists all the features that it'll have. So Apache 2.2, mySQL 5.1, and PHP 5.3, which is great because PHP 6 is still not fully developed. So if we scroll down, we need to find the download section, and you scroll down, and we have the choice of getting the exe or the zip file. We're going to click the exe because it has an online installation, and it's just a whole lot easier. Now, this should redirect you to SourceForge, which links, I use it sometimes, but it allows you to keep track of your project and allow people to have updates with it. So you're going to click Save File. I'm just going to save it to the desktop, sorry. And you let that download. It's a fairly large file, so it's 40. Y and Z. Okay, so now that we have xampp for Windows, since I am using Windows 7, and also Vista users, you might want to take note of this, I'm going to click Properties and Compatibility, and I'm going to run this in compatibility for Windows XP just so it doesn't fail on me. And also I'm going to right click and Run as Administrator. Now a pop-up should come up, and it will say xampp 132.e blah blah blah, and it just wants user account control. You're going to click Yes, and a pop-up should come up, and it's going to say destination folder. Now you always want this at the root of your drive, because if you have it in your My Documents or program files, it can get a little messy and hard to control. So just press enter, and it should extract everything, and the installation progress can take a while. So I'm going to pause the recording, and I will continue after this is done. Okay, so after xampp is completely done extracting everything, it's going to come up with this lovely pop-up window, and it's going to say xampp, whatever version you have set up, copyright 2009 by that guy, and it's going to ask several questions. So here's the setup that I'm going to use. Should I add shortcuts to the start menu/desktop? Personally, I don't use them, so I'm going to type N. Should I proceed? Of course I want you to proceed. Should I make portable xampp without drive letters? You should use drive letters. If you want to use services with USB sticks, you must not use drive letters. Default, you should go with that. So you would type N and press enter. So now it's relocating everything, and it says xampp is ready to use. Now you press enter. I have set the time zone in php.ini and my.ini to American/Los Angeles. You should correct these values if my guess was wrong, just so they know their guess was actually right. And 1. Start xampp control panel. 2. Relocate xampp. 3. Disable HTTPS. 4. Disable server-side includes, and basically just other things that you can do. We're going to press 1, and then press X so it closes. Now it will start the xampp control panel, because if you try to go to the server right now, you type in localhost, and nothing will happen. It will be unable to connect. And if you press start on across the word from Apache. Now Apache is our HTTP server. So like websites like MySpace, Facebook, like you just saw, SourceForce, xampp.org, they all run off of HTTP, which is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Now what happens is it'll open up port 80 on your computer and then also a local port for PHP to run. So now that we have Apache running, we can run our localhost, which is basically the server they have on your computer locally. You can also access it by typing in your IP address, your subnet IP address. And mine happens to be that. And notice how I get the same thing. But for what we need to do, we have to type in localhost. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on your language, and if you're understanding this video, you probably speak English. So click on that. Now it says, congratulations, you have successfully installed xampp on the system. You can start using Apache and you should try status on the left navigation, make sure everything works fine, and blah 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 blah, no one really cares. Now, there's 3 ways you can access this page. Like I said, with your local IP address, typing in localhost, or you can use the home IP address, which is always 127.0.0.1. That's the fun number that you're most likely going to have to memorize. Now, right under welcome, you see the word status. Go ahead and click on that. And it should load the status page. And it says, MySQL database deactivated, PHP activated, Perl with mod Perl activated, Apache ASP activated, HTTPS that's activated, and it just goes over everything that's activated. So I want my SQL databases to be activated. So I'm going to right click on, actually I'm just going to click on the Apache control panel, and right where it says mySQL, I'm going to press start. And now that service has started, and I'm going to click status again, and it runs all the commands it has to gather that, and now notice how mySQL database is now active. So now that we have everything running, we want to check our security, so we're going to click the security tab. And it's going to give you everything that is unsecure and unsafe and what is also safe. So these xampp pages are accessible through the network by anyone that is unsecure. Now, if you don't have anyone else on your network, you can just kind of ignore that. But yeah, so that doesn't really matter. The mySQL admin user root has no password. Now this is something we immediately need to get rid of. So to fix those problems, you're going to click on the link provided at the bottom, which is localhost/security/xampsecurity.php. Now I'm going to make a new password for root, and for this purpose I'm going to have it as test and test again, and PHP authentication will be HTTP, or you can select cookie. I just prefer this because actually I'm going to keep it with cookie. Now set a random password for the PHP user PHPMA. Leave that as default, and if you have a complicated password, I suggest doing this. I'm clicking right there, and then when it has a file, just move it to somewhere else. Now let's click password changing, and it should update. And then also directory protection. This is for the security files, so let's just add our username and the password. Okay, so it says there's an error with that because we have to log in now. And if you log in, everything should work fine. And now that we've handled all of this, we can go to, well, this means that we've successfully uploaded xampp, we downloaded xampp successfully, we installed it successfully, and now we are running it secure. So now that we have all this solved, we can start programming in PHP, which will be in the next series of videos. So I'm Brandon from PHP Web Tutorials, and this has been video 1, and I hope that you got everything settled okay. If you have any questions, leave a comment or send me a private message, but I prefer if you leave a comment so that way I can, talk to other people too. But have a great night, and hope that you continue watching my videos.